Gruesome Magazine.
Hello, once again, I am Doc Rotten, and this is Gruesome Magazine, where we review the very latest in streaming and video on-demand horror movies. Each week, my co-hosts Jeff Mohr, Crystal Cleveland, Dave Dreher, and I will take a look at various spooky, scary, and gory genre offerings. Tonight, we are reviewing Demonic, a new horror film from director Neill Blomkamp. Ooh. All right, joining me tonight as my co-host is Jeff Mohr. Jeff, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing really well. Really well.
I don't know.
It was a good week this week.
Good week.
That's awkward. Mm-hmm. He
It's
seems a little too happy.
It's awkward.
Oh,
Awkward. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say,
I don't
I feel
know.
kind of canomed, which is demonic backwards, because that's what happens, right? You talk backwards when you're possessed.
Possessed.
Anyway,
okay, that's kind of funny.
Wow.
I
Okay.
get
Also,
that.
it's really stupid, which is why I didn't say it the first time.
I would have to think really, really hard about that one. But yeah. Oh, woo. And I'm
all right. All right. Let's get this train back on the tracks. All right. Joining us is, of course, Crystal Cleveland, the living dead girl. How you doing, Crystal?
I'm great. Yeah, that's why I was like, and I'm good. I'm good. Yay!
Yay!
Demonic chronic. I don't know why I keep wanting to say that.
That's fun. That's different.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to give our first impression of this film, and that will be spoiler free. And then we're going to dive into a discussion, and we will get into spoilers and discuss the ins and outs of the movie. And then we'll wrap things up with our final thoughts, our score 1 to 5, and our favorite scene. Stick around for that because that's a lot of fun. All right, what we're talking about is Demonic from IFC Midnight. It's in theaters on demand and digital August 20th, 2021. And it is written and directed by Neill Blomkamp. And the cast includes, but is not limited to, Carly Pope, Chris William Martin, and Michael Rogers. Synopsis is: a young woman unleashes terrifying demons when supernatural forces at the root of the decades-old rift between a mother and daughter are ruthlessly revealed in this horror thriller from director Neill Blomkamp.
Okay.
It's pretty accurate, but there's a lot of surprises in there. Right? All right, so let's dive into this. Let's get our first impression of this surprise film. A little background that we did not know this film was coming until it was ready to come out. And surprise, he had filmed it and it was all ready. And IFC Midnight picked it up. And now, months later, we're watching it. So cool. All right, Jeff Mohr, sir.
Done. Yeah.
Yeah. What was your first impression of Demonic?
I like this. I like the. I don't know. I like the story. It was a little bit different take for me. I like the idea that the demons are patient and will wait decades to get what they want, which seems obvious in hindsight, but it's not something I hear talked about all that much. I like the look of the demon. I mean, I don't think we're giving anything away by saying there's a demon in Demonic, right?
No.
Probably not.
We can safely say it's not a ruse, right?
It's not a ruse. It's not a hoax. I enjoyed the three friends, and I forget their names now. Is it
Martin?
It was Carly and Martin and the other woman, and I don't remember her name, and she's not listed on the.
Is it Sam or something? Did she go by Sam? I feel like it was Sam, but maybe not.
I don't know. It doesn't say on IMDb. We're totally spinning.
No, she's not listed in the 5. The cashier's name is there, but not the lead friend. Anyway, I liked it. For the most part, I liked the actors. There was one thing in there that bothered me. And it's when Carly, the lead character, sees some things, experiences some things that causes her to reconsider her relationship with Martin. And she goes back to Martin to find out, get him to tell her about this stuff that happened to him years before. And when he does, she gets all pissed off and
runs off. Yeah.
Runs away. I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah. I thought that's why you went there. So that part felt wrong to me, I guess. But other than that, I really enjoyed this, and it was creepy.
Creepy. All right. Crystal, what was your first impression of Demonic?
So I really liked this movie as well. I feel like it was shot really well, and oh my gosh, the locate it was so beautiful. It is so beautiful
Yeah.
there. Isn't it Canada? I mean,
Yeah, British
I was
Columbia,
like,
filmed in British Columbia.
Yeah.
I was like, look at that view. Look at that. Oh my, I just can't tell you how much I was really losing it. I was like, that's so beautiful. But yes, but the locations were great. The shots were really nice. I really wasn't sure how I was going to feel about the story, because thinking about this
Mhm.
being some sort of virtual demon, I was like, we'll see. But I get where they went with it. I didn't know if it was going to work with the writing, with them bringing her in, but I understood why she went in the first time, and then I understand why she went back. I like, they really didn't do anything that's like that, like where they were trying too hard with the writing. I personally would love to see more about, you know, this group. I'll wait to talk about them. This group that is, this medical group that's helping with everything. I'm trying not to say anything, but yeah. It was really interesting. I liked the demon too. I liked the whole. Yeah, it's. I don't want to say. Yeah, I'm trying to be okay. Yeah, I liked it, and I even liked. I don't think they needed to, but when they went into the virtual world, I was like, is it gonna look? I actually didn't even mind how it looked. I think they could have kept it just like the normal world, and I
Yeah.
would have been fine with that too. Either way, because something in someone's mind you would assume could look just like real life or whatever, or it's like that. Either way, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, speaking to that, I commend them for trying something new. I mean, because I think being innovative, you have to try something new, and is it successful? It's successful in context, but I don't think it's actually better than just having sets and dressing it up, in a German like expressionistic kind of way. There could have been other ways to display that you don't need that technique, but like I said, I commend that they actually did it. And it didn't take me out of the experience. It was used sparingly, and it made sense. It was representing something, so I was fine with that. The movie itself, there's elements of it that I really like, and then there's the slow and boring parts. To me, our lead is not all that exciting to follow. I didn't really enjoy her that much, at least for most of the film. But for me, I was more fascinated by the science of it. Yeah, air quotes, right? When they're doing the actual, and her interaction with the doctors and the people in the thing. There's some twist there, so I'm stammering a little bit because I'm trying not to reveal anything.
Yeah, no,
but,
no, yeah.
But I enjoyed that more than when she was back home and stuff. I think, yeah, it just felt more.
That's where the excitement was, really.
Well, it didn't have to be. I mean, yes, it was, but it could have been. It didn't matter about being there. I mean. But anyway, I mean, are you saying the excitement was when she went back home, or when she was?
No, with that group.
Oh, okay, yes.
With that group, yeah.
Yes, yeah. That's more where the story was moving forward. Was more there, and then every time it was out, it was more exposition, and that felt. I don't know. It's an uneven film, but at the same time, to me, it's not a mess. It's not a horrible film. It's actually. It's actually entertaining and interesting. It's just not. I don't know. I feel like I was wanting, this magical home run from this director because, we love District 9 so much, and he's had, kind of a wobbly career since then, and it isn't quite the career rebuilding film that he wants it to be. But at the same time, that's fine. I think a lot of people will enjoy this. And I actually did like the demon too. I thought there's parts, and we'll get into it in the spoiler section, that I really like the way they brought him out and about. So
I think the whole reason why you're maybe thinking that, I absolutely think this is all budget things.
Mhm.
I mean, there's obviously reasons why they didn't have that big fight scene that we missed. We just saw the
I
aftermath.
know,
'Cause
that
that's
was
all
unfortunate.
budget. That's all budget. So it's just something that I think that with a higher budget, I think it could be really grand. Like, this could have been a really big story if it had a big budget. And I think it would have been. I mean, because you could imagine some of the stuff that they could do with this. It's got a really cool premise. And yeah, I have to say that I agree with you. I think that they chose to follow her as opposed to following the real action. And then I think that was budgetary. Because really, yes, like, we knew her enough. We could have had less of her and more of the other side, and it would have been better. But that's a lot more money.
Yeah, well, they were trying to build an arc with her, and it's not really all that compelling. An arc. It's what's happening to other people is actually more interesting. But I don't know. It to me, it didn't have the urgency that it really wanted. The holy crap urgency. It was more like, oh wow, look at all this disaster. But it wasn't like, oh shit, everything's falling apart around me. But at times it actually there were a couple of moments where I think they actually did achieve that. There's a sequence in the house when, I want to show you something I learned to do, a trick I know. That was an interesting scene.
Actually, I really liked that one.
Yeah, and of course when they're in the hallways of this really weird building, this old dilapidated building, there's some really creepy things happening in there. And I like the aspect of. I was surprised how much I liked the aspect of the relationship between her and her mother.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a big part of it. And I totally think budget is the reason why it didn't hit and wasn't as exciting as it could have been. But I could see it for what it was and what it could be. And, honestly, we have to kind of take that into account when we deal with any sort of independent film. But it's like, I love what is that Terry Chen. I love him. And I could have used more of him.
Yes.
Yeah. And actually, I really like Martin. I really like that guy, too. I could have used more of him.
Yeah. He was an ex-husband. He was the ex-husband, right? So
ex-boyfriend.
No. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if they were married or what, but so it was really confusing for a while. I was like, are they brother and sister? Or are they husband?
I know. I was like,
what's going on?
But then she's like, I don't need any of that mess. But so I agree with you that it was more interesting with what was happening to other people rather than her. But she was the main part of the story.
Yeah,
I guess,
she was the point, right?
But it's hard. I mean, I would like to think that's all budget, and I'm going to stick with that and say how much I like this film. I do really like it. I just think it's creative. I think they used a lot of clever things. Like, I did like that when they went into the CGI world. That's when you had the mom
world,
floating.
Yeah.
So that it was like, so you could get away with some of the night vision, for instance. That was a clever way to show things cheaper, and I enjoyed that. What about you, Jeff? You're so quiet.
I like it. I agree with you. I would have liked to have, Doc said he was looking for a home run. Well, it's not a home run, but I think it's a solid triple. I would have liked to have seen the big fight scene, but on the other hand, I kind of like that we learned about it as she learned about it, or she and Martin, that they started to see the bodies and they found the truck and see the fire burning. Otherwise, we would have known all that stuff, and I guess we could have seen it anyway.
Well, it definitely was a choice. It definitely was a choice.
It was a choice. It was a choice. So, but I liked the whole. I guess it's virtual, but the idea that of her dropping into her mom's memories, or into her mind, I thought was cool, and I liked the way it turned out, and I liked how it wasn't fully constructed and was sort of changing, wasn't fixed.
I like that a lot too.
And the dark scenes and the, we saw that. Are we into spoilers yet?
Yeah, we're into spoilers, deep into spoilers.
So the the spear, right? The religious artifact spear. We saw that earlier in when the priests were suiting up, but we didn't know what it was. It's just something we saw. That's the stuff they were doing. Anyway, I thought that was cool. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the heck out of it. Yeah. And I didn't mind her. I felt like she was a little, I don't know what the word I want, stiff, but I think it was her character had been, was severely damaged, like 20 years before, and she's never dealt with it. She just said, I ain't talking to anybody. Yeah, that too.
I was like, I love the length and everything. It almost made me want to chop off my hair. I was like,
so I thought she did a good job, because I think that's the way that person would have acted. That she just stuffed everything, ignored everything, never saw her. I hate you, Mom, and I left. I've never seen her again, and I won't talk to anybody about what happened.
Yeah. I don't think that made for a compelling character to follow, though.
You didn't want to save her. That was kind of the hardest part for me, because honestly, I really.
Oh, I did. That's why I was so. That's why I was so mad when she reverted after she first went back to Martin to get some details. That really irritated me. It's like, you got what you came here for, and now you're shutting your,
I know, she should shut
your mind and running off again.
So. Unnecessary tantrum. I liked when I guess we'll call him a priest now instead of a doctor, since we revealed that. When she's in there and they're watching, I like that they can monitor everything and that he won't bring her back out. And, they slowly kind of reveal that while they're supposed to be on the good side, they're a little bit devious in their methods.
A little bit fast and loose with it.
Yeah. So there's some elements in here that I just think it needed to be baked a little more. The soul story, that concept needed a little more time.
Yeah, that's why I think that
from the Vatican.
Yes,
that's why I think a little bit more focus on them, and a little less on her would have been good too. We didn't see, and I really enjoyed when you saw them in the locker room, and just the idea that they're like suiting up and everything. I was like, ooh, this is. But I love religious, supernatural exorcism movies. These are my favorite horror movies. So I could have totally used. I mean, we didn't actually really see an exorcism.
No,
we didn't really see much of a possession. Hardly even. We saw it, but not really.
Yeah, and I kind of like that, because they don't have to fall into that stuff. But we still got, the people walking funny, and we got, the cuts and stuff. It kind of did and kind of didn't. But
we didn't get the power of Christ.
We didn't get
the holy water and all that stuff. Yeah.
We got the bag though. We got their little got their Van Helsing bag.
The bag of stuff.
Yep, the bag of stuff. All right, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Let's give our final thoughts. Our score, 1 to 5. And our favorite scene. But before we do, if you're still watching, we want to thank you for hanging out with us. We hope you enjoyed not only this review, but many others that we have on our site. And if you'd like to help us out, hit the subscribe button down below, share with a friend, hit that bell so you can be notified when we do more stuff. That all helps, and it does great things. And of course, leave your comments down below. there's some interesting comments about this film out there if you want to read those.
Oh, really? Oh, I haven't seen anything.
But regardless, we hope you enjoy the review. We hope you enjoy the movie. We want to hear your comments. All right, let's do our final thoughts, our score, and favorite scene. Jeff, you are up first. Let us have it.
Okie doke. So I think this is a Jeff Mohr film in that I go into a horror movie. For the most part, I like horror comedies. I like slashers, when they're good ones. But I really like ones that creep me out, and the religious ones sometimes creep me out the most. So there was some good stuff in here. Some very good atmospheric cinematography and production design. The sets were great. I loved the story. Was something kind of new, from my point of view anyway. And I thought the effects worked out well. So I think this is worth a watch. I'm giving this a 4.
No, nice. Wow.
And
okay.
Wow.
I'm going favorite scene. That's boy. I guess I'm going to take when Martin hauls Carly into his trailer of secrets and gear.
The trailer of secrets. I like that. All right, Crystal. You got something else, Jeff?
No. I mean, that just if he's trying to convince her he ain't crazy, that wasn't the place to go.
that was a box full of crazy. All right, Crystal, you're up next. Your final thoughts, your score and favorite scene.
Well, maybe if she'd listened to him years before, she would have been more on board.
Yep.
No, I'm just kidding. After we were just having all this conversation. Anyway, I really like this film. I think it's shot well. I think it's creative. I think the story, while yes, I'll agree it's underdeveloped, is cool and interesting. And I can see where they were able to save money. But I think it was a pretty good job at what they were doing. So I'm going to give it a 3.75.
Nice.
Yeah. And my favorite scene was when Sam put on the mask. I was like, I actually at first when she was like, I'm going to show you that, I was like, oh, it's kind of cheesy. And then she does it. And that's been done so many times, but they did a really good job at it.
They did. And I had that as my favorite scene, but I figured between you and Doc talking about it, one of you guys might take that. So
it worked. They did a really good job on it. I was like, okay, yeah, I don't like it, which means I do like it, obviously.
There was one little extra turnaround that just totally creeped me out. She had a look on her face that was like, whoa.
Did a good job with that. So for me, I did enjoy it. It entertained me. I have problems with it that I've been speaking about for the past 20 minutes. But overall, I am impressed with them being innovative and coming up with a new look, new way to approach exorcism and how maybe people are treating those who are possessed. It had a lot of great ideas. Unfortunately, I don't think I don't think they stick together real well. It's kind of like lumpy oatmeal. It's not quite ready, but it still will do what it needs to do. Wow, that was weird.
Oh my gosh, that is so weird.
That was weird. No. That's not going on the box.
Doesn't stick together like lumpy oatmeal or something.
It totally didn't go where I wanted it to. But anyway, I'm going to give it a 3. A 3.
Okay.
And my favorite scene is, gosh, what am I going to choose? Because there's a couple of them that I can choose. I kind of want to choose. There's a really interesting scene, and it's actually in the virtual world, when she visits her mother as she's on the table toward the end, right? And she goes into the house, and this is I think this is the house that she wanted her to live in. So it was something that she had never seen, as opposed to earlier times she was seeing like her house. This was like her dream house, and it's kind of falling apart and stuff. But she's on they're both on the floor, but the floors aren't. One floor is on the ceiling, and the other floor is on the floor. So it just really had some really interesting ideas there. And then and I'm not going to fully spoil this, but something happens, and her reaction to what happens to her mom at this point, I think was probably the closest thing to an emotion we got in this film that wasn't hysterical.
Yeah.
And I kind of dug that. If I was going to choose one of the more horrific scenes, it might be when we get this, and Jeff, you might appreciate this fantastic, was it Fantastic Planet? No, not Fantastic Planet. What's this? Oh my God, I'm totally brain farting. The Id. What's the Id in? The Id's in what movie from the 50s? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, that's is that The Martians?
No.
Anyway, I think of a different one.
I was thinking Fantastic Planet, but that's not it. But anyway, the way when they reveal the monster, I'm totally. Everybody's gonna say, "What the hell is going on?" I've enjoyed the monster reveal, if you will, and his demise.
Okay.
In flame.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to just give the whole movie away? Is that what you're trying to do?
Well, I mean, that's it.
No, I'm just kidding.
Something's got to happen, and
Forbidden Planet is what.
That's it.
Forbidden Planet.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you, sir. Mm-hmm. After everybody checked out. All right, thank you. All right, there you go. That's
keep an eye out. We'll do that on Classic Hero sometime.
Oh my gosh, you better. I thought you already had, to be honest with you. Demonic. That's our review for Neill Blomkamp's new film. When you get a chance to check it out, leave us some comments down below. Love to hear what you think. Crystal, Jeff, thank you for joining me. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, this is a good one.
Great to get something from IFC.
Always.
For real.
Yep.
Always. Let's say goodnight.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.